Have you ever wondered what makes your favorite apps and games feel so, fast and responsive? Well, the secret ingredient is often something called multi-threading. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and make it super simple to understand.
First things first, to really get why multithreading is such a big deal, we need to understand the problem it solves. So imagine a world where you could only do one single thing at a time. Let's try an analogy. Think about cooking a big meal. You got pasta, a sauce, maybe a salad. If you could only do one thing at a time, how would you even begin to tackle that?
Yeah, you'd have to do it all in a straight line, finish one task completely before you could even think about starting the next. It would be, wow, just painfully, unbelievably slow. I mean, look at this process. You'd put the water on to boil, and then you just wait. Then you add the pasta, and you wait again. You wouldn't even touch the vegetables for the salad until the pasta is completely done. All of that dead time, all that just standing around, that is exactly how a basic computer program works without multithreading. It gets stuck on one task, and it's totally unable to move on until it's 100% finished.
But of course, that's not how anyone actually cooks, right? A real pro would never, ever work this way. To be efficient, you've got to start thinking like a chef. The thing is, real chefs are masters of working in parallel. They don't just stand there watching a pot of water. No way. They use that time to get something else done. They're always multitasking, juggling multiple jobs at once to get the entire meal ready on time. And this is really where the magic happens. The slow way says you finish one dish completely before starting the next, but the chef's way, you find a task that involves waiting, like letting a soup simmer, and you use that time to do something else, like chopping the salad. See the difference? That simple shift is the key to a huge gain in efficiency. You're actively using your time, not just waiting for it to tick by.
So how do we bring this kitchen analogy back to programming? Well, welcome to Java's concurrent kitchen, where we can actually hire multiple chefs to work for us, right inside our code.
In the world of Java, each one of these independent chefs is called a thread. You can think of a thread as just a single independent worker. This means you can have one thread boiling the water while another thread is chopping the vegetables, and they're both running at the exact same time.
So how do you hire one of these new chefs in your code? It's actually surprisingly simple. This little line of code right here, new Thread.start. That's the magic command. When you run this, you're basically telling the computer, hey, create a new worker, give them this job, and let them start right now while I get on with my own tasks.
Okay, so we've got multiple chefs, or threads, working at once. What does this actually mean in the real world? This is where we see the true power of parallelism really shine.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple idea. Whether we're talking about chefs in a kitchen or threads in an application, parallelism is about one thing: getting more work done in the same amount of time. It's the ultimate strategy for making every single second count.
So if there's just one thing you take away from this, let it be this right here. Multithreading is the engine that drives modern software performance. It means efficiency because you're not wasting time waiting around, and it means speed because you're literally getting more done at the same time.
And this is exactly why this whole concept makes a language like Java so powerful. It's how we get faster applications. It's the reason your user interface doesn't just freeze up when the app is doing some heavy lifting in the background. It's how a website can handle thousands of people all at once, and how we can crunch through massive amounts of data so quickly. So we know that having more chefs makes the kitchen faster. But that leaves us with one final, really interesting question. When you've got all those chefs rushing around using the same knives, the same cutting boards, what's the one critical rule they all have to follow to make sure the whole kitchen doesn't descend into total chaos? Now that's something to think about.